Now, despite critics giving it the thumbs down, the Batman vs Superman movie seems to have won over audiences around the world. With international box office figures coming in at $254 million, Dawn of Justice has had the biggest international opening of any superhero movie.
That's how it starts. The fever. The rage that turns good men cruel.
This Bat vigilante is like a one-man reign of terror.
You don't get to decide what the right thing is. Nobody cares about Clark Kent taking on the Batman.
This means something. It's all some people have. It's all that gives them hope.
People hate what they don't understand. Be their hero, Clark. Be their angel. Be their monument. Be anything they need you to be. Or be none of it. You don't owe this world a thing. You never did.
There you have it. Well, joining me now is the film critic Max Anderton. Max, the figures speak for themselves, don't they? Amazing, $254 million. Did the critics get it wrong?
It's not that they got it wrong. The things that they point out that are bad about the film are entirely true. It's overly long, it's quite bloated, and in that time it doesn't really do a very good job of setting up the reason why they're actually fighting. We don't understand the characters' motivations. So these things, which you were looking for in what's going to be a good film, it doesn't have them. But what the fans are looking for, all the critics did mention, which is that the actual action's really good. The fight between Batman and Superman is not a letdown at all. Ben Affleck, who people were wondering, is he going to be a good Batman or not? He absolutely smashes it. He looks really good. He plays a good Bruce Wayne as well. He's got this sort of world-weary, tired out, he's been battling crime for so long. All these things are what the fans were actually waiting for.
Yeah.
And all the critics, even though they say this isn't a good film, they all did point out that actually it did those things well.
Right.
And also Wonder Woman, when she appears, there was literally whoops and cheers when I saw it.
Yeah.
And so the thing is that they're the things people are looking for. So people saying this isn't a good film, well, they pointed out the things people were waiting for and they went, right, cool, stick those boxes, I'm gonna go and see it.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it seems to me that it's darker than what we're used to from these characters. Even Wonder Woman's costume, before it looked like a dressing up box costume, didn't it, in the old days, and now it's this very sort of dark costume. Is that true, do you think?
Absolutely, yeah. But I think it's something they almost have to do to differentiate themselves from the Marvel franchise. Marvel is known for being very colourful and fun and family-friendly. And Batman, I mean, especially, he is one of the darkest, grittiest superheroes out there. So moulding that in together with Superman, it was always going to be a bit dark.
Yeah.
And Man of Steel was quite dark. It ended with, essentially, the destruction of Metropolis. And so I think that was always going to be the case.
Do you think fans are ever going to get bored of these DC comic adaptations?
Well, at the moment, it seems not. Obviously, box offices are still records being smashed nearly every time that one of these big films comes out. And even the more unrecognisable characters, so people that we hadn't really heard of, like, say, Ant-Man with Marvel, that's done really well as well, and you wouldn't expect it to. And obviously, the time will tell with DC, they've got the rest of the Justice League franchise, and that's what they're trying to push with this film. And we've got these characters that are less well-known, so we've got Aquaman, we've got The Flash, we've got Cyborg, who, as a big comics fan, I'd never even really heard of myself.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be the things we're going to try and see. Is it really something that's going to work when we've got these characters that no one's really heard of? And if they're trying to make it all dark the whole time in the DC universe, people are going to tire of that.
Yeah, OK. Let's move on now to a much lighter film. I love this one, Zootopia. As it's called in some territories, it's called Zootropolis in others,
That's right,
isn't it? But that's been doing incredibly well, $696 million globally. And what does this tell us about what cinema goers want? Because the top two contenders are fantasy and animation.
Well, I think something different there is the fact that Zootropolis has actually got really amazing reviews all around. So I think with something like that, those sorts of films, if they come out, they don't get as good reviews because they're not characters that we really know and understand and like, then, they've got a harder struggle ahead of them. Whereas that has been getting outstanding reviews, and obviously it's the sort of melding of Disney and Pixar, but I think as always, blockbuster films are going to be the ones that are topping the charts, things with cast that we've heard of before, and something offering escapism. Even though Batman Superman is said as dark, it's still escapism. It's still got massive superheroes that are solving the world's problems for us, and I think that's the thing that they have in common, really.
Very briefly, before you go, Demolition, I know you haven't seen it yet, but we just had our report on it. Are you looking forward to it? Because Jake Gyllenhaal, it's being called his best performance since Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah, I am looking forward to it, although there have been mixed reviews coming out of that as well. So I saw the trailer last week and I thought it looked incredible, but then popped on the internet today and Rotten Tomatoes, it's sitting at about 54, 57%, so I think the jury's out.
OK, we will see. Max Anderton, for now, thanks so much for joining us here on Showcase.